And our first bit of business is to approve the minutes for April 21st. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move.
I'll make that motion.
You can do it.
He made the motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. According to our list here, we have no new public hearings, but we do have some activity in the continued public hearings. 194 South Main Street is requested to continue the hearing to June 2nd.
Yes, they're working on the peer review came in, and they have some stormwater stuff to address on it.
And which one was that again? That was in the back?
The building that they're gonna tear down on South Main Street
Okay.
and rebuild a warehouse and three retail places in the front.
Okay.
Is that the old Wicker place?
It's before the Wicker place. It had the can distribution, the antique store, and then there was a repair shop thing going on in the back.
Okay. All right. In any case, they've asked to continue to June 2nd. Can I get a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. 0 Copeland Street is the next continued hearing. Do we have someone here, Tim?
Yeah.
I'm here.
There you go. There you are.
Did you need to introduce the project first, or did you want me to just dive right in?
You should be able to share now,
Yeah.
and you can dive
Just-
right in if you want.
Yeah, just a quick review and then,
Yep. I'm gonna give sharing a try. Sometimes it works.
If it doesn't, I can pull it up, but I think you got it.
I got it. So I have, my name's Kevin Davis. I'm a professional engineer with ET Engineering. I'm just here to introduce the project and the changes that we've done. And had our consultant Brad Holmes go out and redelineate some wetlands that Mr. Hayes and Mr. Holmes were discussing, doing some changes. So the property is off of Copeland. I can zoom up here to kind of give you a locus view. This is kind of near the Pine Hill Cemetery. It's an existing vacant lot with a gravel drive area, a bridge. The hope again is to get a single family home here on the property. Now, after Mr. Hayes reviewed the wetlands line delineation, I can actually kind of show you the change between the two. This is the plan done April 1st, 2026, with the delineation by Mr. Holmes, and this plan right here is the plan done May 4th, 2026, revised by Mr. Holmes and Mr. Hayes, discussing the wetlands line location, the resource areas. So you can kind of see, if I quickly go between the two, that a few of the jurisdictional lines and the 25 and 50 foot buffers have changed. The red here outlined is the 100-foot buffer. And to kind of remind that the goal is to kind of put a dwelling somewhere in here centered around the 100-foot buffer area. But this is just an abbreviated notice of resource area delineation. We're just trying to ask the commission to look at the wetlands line delineation and approve it.
right.
Hopefully.
So apparently
But that's it. That's the only change. Again, this is a vacant land. We're just looking for a wetlands line delineation.
Okay. I think you
More
folks.
than happy to answer any questions about the property or the location.
Yeah, we
or
may have a
anything
question or two from our audience. If do you?
Question? Do you have any?
No, I just,
Okay.
Okay, I can say I did make a couple different trips out.
Yeah.
Did change where my suggestions were. As I talked to Brad about it, it's a very deceptive piece of property.
Say
If
that
you look
again.
at the vegetation, you'd expect it to be more of a wetland area than what the soil said it was.
Yeah.
But I think part of it is there may be high groundwater, not necessarily wetland area in certain spots. But the adjoining pieces of property do have, where the streams go through, some significant wet areas and wetlands on it. The previously disturbed area, it's tough to tell what was in there originally. It's been, I'm guessing 40, 50 years that there was a disturbance there. But again, like Kevin said, when they go to develop it, we'll see what the actual footprint and where the development area will be.
Right. Was it, like, he was flipping back and forth, but he didn't see any big change, and,
They weren't real huge changes. There was some right along the entrance driveway.
yeah,
So where's
And then
the,
if you look at the
where's the entrance driveway gonna be?
up the top.
at the top.
You can pull it down a little bit so I can see
Coming,
better. There you
coming
go.
off Copeland. Keeping in mind they don't know for sure where it will be yet, but there you go.
Is that helping at all?
Yeah, you can see
Yep.
it,
A little bit.
it just moves it up a little bit further along the driveway, and the other side pushes it in
Yeah,
closer. Just
But-
on that one side.
yeah. Main thing is coming to agreement on it.
But otherwise, I had no other changes for the wetland.
Anything, you folks, no? All right, I'm gonna make a motion to close the hearing.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I would like to entertain a motion to issue an order of resource area delineation.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, everybody.
Zero Bryant has asked to continue to the 19th of May.
So I can give you a little update.
Yeah.
I've tried to reach out to the engineer on that one, and have not heard back with a formal request to continue. Normally they send one, either email or in writing, or give me some indication when they want to continue to. I know he has no plans ready. He did withdraw from the planning board, so that they're redesigning it. We can, because he's not here, just continue it to our next meeting.
We can do
We
that
can
without
do
a
that, or we could
formal,
deny it without prejudice for lack of information. Either one, at this point.
but he doesn't have to request the continuance. We
Well,
can,
he's supposed to, or we
Yeah.
can deny his application.
Yeah.
But knowing the situation and knowing that it's in progress, my suggestion is, I wanted him to say continue till June. Because even if he gets it to me by next week, I'm not gonna have time
Yeah.
to look at it, and the 53G won't have time to look at it, so
we
really
could still move it
move it
on.
out further, but
Yeah.
at this point, since he's not here, we can just continue it till the next meeting, which would be the 19th, and then
Sound good?
I'd be in favor of that.
Me
It
too.
seems that he's trying to work with us.
Let me ask one question.
yes.
I'm still having a hard time hearing. All this talk that we're doing, moving the house a little bit, or the wetlands or whatever, is that gonna combine all four lots?
Their intent of Copeland Street, yes, is to combine all four into one parcel.
And it's only, it's gonna be one house on that gravel?
On the total acreage of everything combined.
This is in the other hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. All right, so, you all set? Okay, good. All right, back to Zero Bryant, so I'm gonna entertain a motion to continue the hearing to the May 19th.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, we have no more activity for this evening officially,
Well,
unless
we
you have
have
something to say.
Administrative items.
Oh, yeah, 40 United,
I
right?
had, I thought what was coming in was one of the warehouse projects wanted to propose a project change, and they wanted to informally present it. Where they haven't reached out to confirm and they're not here tonight, I'm thinking they may have decided not to go forward after my recommendations. The disturbance in the 50-foot would probably not be allowed by the commission. Try to figure out a different
Could you
way to
see
do the
that?
project.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I think you're right, so.
And then we have two updates that I wanted to share with you are for violations that have happened recently. 99 and 101 Scotland Street
Yep.
was permitted and done with less than 15,000 square feet of land disturbance and
Mhm.
outside the 100-foot buffer, so there was no jurisdiction
Right.
for the commission. Since they put the septic system in and now started the project, there's been multiple encroachments into the 100-foot buffer or the 50-foot buffer. So I put a stop work order and a violation on the project. They have hired an engineer. Show commissioners, for those of you not familiar with it. It's this area, it doesn't show it as two lots on this map because it's an older one, but this has been divided. 99 is here, 101 is here. If you see, there's a erosion control basically in that line, which the day I was there was an excavator half over the erosion control line. That was the limit of work for the no-touch 50-foot buffer,
Okay.
which since they've gone over, the dewatering was done out here when they were trying to pump all the water out to put the foundation in. So I told them you have to stop, file before the commission with a notice of intent, and they had their engineer and a botanist involved.
Okay.
The engineer is getting out there to survey and come up with a plan, probably sometime in June. I'm thinking we'll see that one.
Okay.
Have they stopped work?
And the
Yeah.
lot-
Have they stopped work?
They've stopped. There's
Okay.
been no more work since that happened. The next one that I was going to have,
There we go. There it is.
45 Progressive Ave. This is what it looks like today. This is all wetland in the middle. They have a road crossing or through the wetlands to get to an upland area that they want to use for farming. They've created a pond in the last year. That creating more of a wetland isn't a problem, but becomes jurisdictional, which they weren't permitted to do. If I scroll back, this is what it looked like in September. And this was July. This was last April. And so I had told them a year ago, and it looks like they filled in and put this roadway through here. I said, if you do anything through that wetland, it requires a filing. And I said, they were supposed to come in, and then they told me they were gonna hire an engineer and have a plan and a permit
Oh,
application
sure.
before us by the end of April.
Sure.
They came in today, they're meeting with the engineer on Thursday. J.K. Holmgren,
Yeah.
so I'll find out on Friday what the
I
meeting
mean,
was
did
and how it went.
did they just throw dirt in there with no,
It looks
plan?
like it's just gravel and dirt.
yeah.
But again, it's a wetland crossing,
Oh,
and they have
yeah.
to do a wetland, and there's
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
right through the middle of it, a stream,
Yeah.
which, to do that, they have to make sure there's the right culverts and the right drainage, and they're not backing it up and
Yeah.
causing flooding on anybody upstream,
Yeah.
so there's a lot more involved.
Yeah. And I see the pond is dry in the back.
Right, and so when you look, having this April's photos, all of this tiles are fill that was brought in. The intent, he said, was to move it and haul it all the way to the back,
Yikes.
which means it would be going through or in the wetland area. So I said, before you touch or move anything, you have to file before us.
And he wants to farm back
And he
there?
wants to, I mean, it's upland, there is a good chunk,
Is there a good chunk there?
but I'm not sure from the satellite image, sometimes the property lines are off.
Yeah.
Well, this area here on DEP has it all as wetlands.
Okay,
So he's already got wetland disturbances there in the crossing to
Yeah.
deal with.
right.
But this back area where he made the pond and everything up in this area is upland.
Mm.
So he could farm it, he could put vegetables in and do whatever.
Is he a farmer?
I think wants to be, but I don't think there's enough land there. to
Which
make
is,
it-
which is fine, yeah.
Right, I mean,
yeah.
you could have vegetable gardens and animals, but it's not gonna be a commercial operation at this point.
All right. Okay, well, that's that update. We have
There's that.
a
and-
gentleman just rolled in. Are you with,
And we have, I think, an informal guest.
from the
here
warehouse?
To pitch a project possibly.
Not on the,
That's you, you're up.
You were looking at me, so I was
We're
assuming.
having a quick night tonight.
Not-
I was
not
like,
on
I'll
the
be quick.
agenda.
I apologize, I was late.
Nope,
Tim?
that's okay.
So I'll be quick, I actually have two updates and, mine's right set up. So, my name's Nate Kirschner, I'm with Fuller Engineering, here on behalf of the Logistics Property Company who purchased and is under construction for 3840 United, the two warehouses across from 35 United. I think the last time I spoke to the commission, we did it through Teams, so it's nice to meet everybody in person. So just to orient everybody, this is 40 United, it's the bigger of the two buildings. Wetlands are along the back here, the red line represents, there's a protected turtle species that we have to respect the buffer, a no-touch buffer. And then United Drive is north is also to the left, confuse things. And 35 United, the existing buildings across the street. As I mentioned, it's under construction. Client of ours is probably picked the worst winter of all time. I think we advised them, hey, winters haven't been that bad in New England. They started construction in November and then they got shut down for ever and a day with the winter we had. Very exciting for them is they have a prospective tenant for this building. Tenant wants the whole building, they want the whole site. It's very rare. Actually, I just passed the other property, I think it's on Lincoln Street, that got completed and doesn't have a tenant. The wrinkle to the tenant is they would like 360-degree circulation around the building. Had the tenant been around in December, they probably would have considered cutting the building back. The foundations are in, the footings are in, the building is starting to go vertical. To do the 360-degree circulation, the good news is they only want one lane. They only want one way. They just want to be able to go this way or that way with an 18-wheeler. When last time, as I mentioned, when we met through Teams, we had requested a variance for a impact to the 50-foot buffer for the engineered slope along this side of the building, and then the hatch part here represents the wetlands mitigation. We were impacting about 1,000 square feet in that buffer, and we were doing like a 4-to-1 mitigation. So we were cleaning up some invasives along the buffer line, putting some nice new wetland species in that area. There's a second part of this which I hadn't had a chance to read you in on. It came up on this afternoon. But the first discussion, we actually met with Mr. Hay, as well as the planner and building commissioner, this is a blow up of this section here. Blue represents the 1,000 square feet of impacts. You can see the buffer line here. And then what we are proposing, or really more proposing for discussion than anything else, is an access drive. There's no buffers or anything in here. We're just maintaining the turtle buffer that we need to, and then we kind of flare out to get the truck straight. We're hugging the building as much as we can. We have a 5-foot offset just because of the mirrors, and you need some ability to do maintenance. And then running a 15-foot wide drive aisle. To minimize impacts, we're proposing a retaining wall with the batter and the thickness of the wall would be about 3 feet. And then because for insurance and liability, you need a fence and a guide rail on top of that wall. So a long background to say the discussion, which we were hoping to get the commission's input on, is we would be increasing the impacts to that 50-foot buffer area. Green represents a temporary impact. Again, we'd mitigate that. The contractor needs to be able to build a wall, obviously, from the low side up. That would all be restored. We'd be mitigated back to probably better than what it was previously. There'd be a wall, and then we propose a maintenance and inspection strip at the bottom of the wall. There's a landscape strip again for the guide rail and the fence for liability purposes. And then I should have color coded it. The impervious impact in that buffer, for full disclosure, will be a slight portion of the asphalt. I know there was a sketch, we've tightened everything up, it was a little more than, and it's all shown here. It would be 250 feet of asphalt in that 50-foot buffer. And speaking with Mr. Hay, I know the commission is very supportive of the pervious impacts for this building and 38 United. This is a little different. Obviously, we have to fully engineer it, do stormwater design and all that stuff, but before we did that, we wanted to know it was a non-starter. I'll shut up.
Was the purpose of the building when you did renovations, made it bigger or whatever, was to have trucks?
Second?
Was the purpose of the building to be able to have trucks there?
It was never the intent of the speculative building to have truck circulation. Candidly, I was always surprised, and my background actually was a developer prior to coming over to Bowler. When we looked at this, we were shocked the fire marshal didn't want the 360-degree circulation.
But trucks are gonna be going there no matter what, even if you didn't have the wraparound.
They would not, there'd be no access.
But I mean, trucks will be coming in and out, whether you had it.
Here, along
Yeah.
this side, sorry.
So they just wanted it better, so it's better access.
Correct, trucks would come in here, they had a turnaround, so they have to.
But they
turn
could
around.
do it if they had to, without the drive around.
They can, yes, functionally, I mean, it always worked for a generic tenant. This specific tenant is saying, we want that, that's national, they're a national tenant. I don't know that I'm allowed to disclose it, but it's a name everyone would know.
Yeah.
There was discussion about the idea of just having them come out on United to do it, but obviously you're putting a lot more truck traffic on United Drive, it's more wear and tear on the roadway.
Right.
Probably it's less ideal from a safety perspective for everybody.
So you met with Tim today.
A couple weeks ago, yes.
Yeah, and he generally gave you the overview of how this commission would react to this. And
Yep.
he showed us earlier tonight, what you've just shown us, and,
Yep.
It's been the position of this commission for a long time, that we would not grant that kind of a variance.
Understood.
The new school, he probably mentioned, that wasn't a big area, was what, 1,500, 2,000 feet? It didn't go through, but we weren't going to allow that there. So we want to keep our rulings consistent,
Absolutely, we respect
and,
that 100%.
and that would be my impression, that I would not vote in favor of it, but,
Like you said, it's too bad for you guys, I mean, if you'd just known this about.
well, I
Timing-
know.
Yeah, the timing couldn't be worse.
Then we gotta work a
And
little bit.
it's tempting to give the variance, but our rulings have been so consistent, we just don't want to
Understood. Our
get
client,
away
I
from
think
that.
Tim will indicate our client was very appreciative and understanding.
Yeah, yeah.
And compared to the previous sketch, like I said, we did tighten things up. It is,
Yeah,
and I'm not trying to
No.
sway or sell you.
No, no.
It is 250 feet. I mean, I could propose the idea of doing a porous asphalt or a pervious paver, so then the argument would be it wouldn't be an impervious surface. I struggle with going that direction only because knowing it's 18-wheeler traffic, that tends to,
Right.
the maintenance issues.
and it's just taking of the, inside the buffer
Right, and
zone.
if they had, like you said, if they'd had 2 or 3 months or
Right.
better, they could have slid the building, cut off from it.
I mean, hopefully the new tenant will say, well, that doesn't make us happy, but we'll still go ahead, but.
The feedback
that's-
is if we can't do it, the tenant's go, which I don't wanna say it's the end of the world, it's not my money.
Yeah,
But
right.
Do you know what kind of, material that is going in
it's
this
a
process?
solar company, it's a national solar company, so I don't know, it's a combination of 18-wheelers.
Cause something ever happened to one of the trucks and spilled something
I mean,
or.
my other
Yeah,
consideration.
it's not chemicals or batteries or
Yeah,
anything that
but
would
just
potentially.
diesel fuel itself.
Of course.
You could have worked it in and made it work right without drainage and everything in the beginning.
Yep.
It's also, again, it's gonna be a driveway, it's gonna have to be plowed, sanded, salted,
Oh,
maintained.
that's a very small.
Very narrow.
Yeah.
You can't plow that distance straight, it's gonna have to be pushed somewhere. I mean,
Or snow blow.
right, and again, you've got that 50-foot buffer for a reason, and now you're making
Yeah.
it smaller and,
Approaching
but,
and contaminating the whole,
I mean, it was-
How do you guys feel?
I would not vote to approve it.
I would not either.
So the feedback we're looking for. The second reason I'm here, which is coming out of left field, was, actually, I'll stick with this pen. This whole side of the building, and I think we had discussed it at a high level, there was a whole lot of engineering between the foundation wall, the engineered slope, and maintaining that buffer. The soils are proving problematic. Similar but similar discussion with respect to the wall, but the question has come up, if we needed to flatten out the slope, currently what the geotech had said would work is I think a 2-to-1 slope. They tried going 1.5 to 1, 2 to 1's a little steep. It's 2 feet horizontal, I assume everybody knows, but 2 feet horizontal, 1 feet up. I was asked to bring up, primarily from the contractor and then also from the geotech and our client, through our client, if we needed to bring out this slope a little further, obviously we would continue to mitigate. Again, we'd submit a formal application, but it would look exactly the same as this. We'd just flatten out that slope a little bit. It'd still be a pervious surface. You'd still have the stone treatment along the edge. There'd still be no vehicle access or anything back there. Is that something? And again, it's unfortunately just a function of
The same
the
area,
soils.
it's just your slope.
It's just going to be flattened out. The slope's going to be a little.
You'll be taking everything out of there anyway, right?
Second.
You'll be taking all the material out of there. If you had to flatten it out to get the slope right. I mean.
You'd be bringing more in, candid.
Just
Oh,
stretch it out,
Yeah, the foundation.
What's the slope now?
Well, the existing slope's gone, so I don't know what it is. I mean, the foundation wall's in, they
Oh,
haven't
all right.
stabilized the
I
backside
thought it was
area.
already there, you were just gonna.
No, yeah, they're actually putting in the foundation and filling back there.
Oh, okay.
But to do that, it's just not staying, candidly. And, I said to our client, my suggestion was to discuss it here tonight. Obviously, I think, given the proximity of the wetlands, you want a stable slope there. If we need to flatten out a little bit, and again, if we need to mitigate it with some more plantings, some more enhancements, it's gonna be, additional square footage of buffer impacts, but at the final condition, it'll be restored.
So,
Kind of like
would that be a
temporary
minor,
disturbance in the 50 foot
minor
100 feet,
disturbance
Correct.
You can address it like we did the last with a minor project change.
without having
Just
to?
fill that out, and I would suggest dealing with that. I mean, it is affecting the 50 foot, but they're gonna restore it and replant it with
Anyway,
additional enhancements to do that, with
Right.
additional disturbance.
right.
There's gonna be,
It would, to be clear, we're having the same issue on 38 and 40, so
Right.
that condition
Yeah.
would be.
The issue is that the slope isn't keeping the materials
not
running off.
Yeah, it's
Is the material like
They're using
loom,
they're
is it
using
loom
the
and
native
seed?
soils, and then it's got a riprap stone to it, and it's just, the geotech recommended.
But the
I
foundation-
won't name names, but it's a steeper slope than that stone is.
The foundation is in.
Correct.
It's unfortunate. You could move it just to.
Oh, if we could've moved it that way, we would've solved it. Yeah, I would've been here smiling with a.
Yeah,
application.
that's too
Truck
bad.
driving
The,
around
the
back.
building isn't up though.
No.
Okay.
And would you have, just to throw this out, 250 feet, there would be no area to replicate that area?
The 250 feet for the roadway, if we did it that way?
If we were to
Oh,
do that,
absolutely.
though.
Yeah, no,
Maybe
we would
250
be
feet
open to as much mitigation if.
For replication area?
Have replication, mitigation, whatever you guys, 4 to 1. I mean, there's plenty, there's a ton of opportunities to mitigate that impact.
It's just too bad it already,
Sorry?
already went through, it's just too bad it already went through. 'Cause we could've worked with you.
I mean, for the 200, if you're talking back to this layout,
Yeah.
I mean, my assumption would be if we would mitigate or replicate that, we would submit a new application, we'd go through the public hearing process, we wouldn't do that, we wouldn't ask to do that as a minor revision, just prior to submitting that
I
application.
just wanted to know if you had had the space for it.
The 250,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I think if we can come up with an arrangement that works, and obviously, we won't hold you to it. Obviously, we need to submit an application and go through the process.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm
Understood.
not
I mean,
for it,
I mean,
I just
4 to
wondering.
1, you know,
Yeah.
we could easily, it's 250 feet of impervious impervious surface. We could do 1,000 feet of wetlands replication. It's.
Fortunately, I mean, we do like to work with people,
No, I appreciate
Sticking
it,
to 'em.
and I appreciate the candor.
but,
So it sounds more like this ask is that you're trying to improve the flow going to the wetlands. You don't want it.
For this one.
For this,
Yes.
there's two
Yes.
different, yeah.
So
Correct.
So
Yeah,
I see that differently, where we're not just using the wetlands for a project, we're improving the water flow going there. It's not, so it's scorching down this hill into the wetlands.
Yeah, and candidly, my concern with not doing it is the stone's gonna wash out, the dirt's gonna wash.
Sure.
We're gonna have more long-term
Sure.
ongoing issues with the wetland, the quality and function of the wetlands, by not doing this temporary impact versus this one, I understand.
So it'll be a minor project change.
Yeah,
That
for the
one.
slope change
Yeah.
and the grading
Right.
could be addressed as a minor project change.
Even if that'll increase the square footage impact in the construction.
Yeah, just, there's a form online, like the
Yeah,
last form you
yeah.
did, just address it on that form, and we can pick up the details in an as-built at the end to
Correct.
correct it all.
Okay, that'd be great. That's all I have.
All set?
Yeah.
Great.
Thank
Wait,
you guys
so,
very much. Appreciate
so
it.
with
Thank
the
you.
minor change, will there be replication required?
It's gonna be.
Right, it would be just like what's already approved, it would be just spelling out the exact amount of square footage
Because of
change.
the
that would be-
slope
Correct, and if we needed,
Address the
and
same
if the
way,
commission
yes.
wanted additional replication, obviously, we could
Yeah,
extend,
we could
it,
stretch,
we could
yeah.
extend that replication.
So that's where you would do it?
Yep. I mean, we'll take your guidance where you want us to do it,
No,
but
just-
it makes sense to do it.
Yeah, it makes sense to
Yeah.
connect what's already there and just expand.
Sure.
Got it, thank you.
Currently, you're 2-to-1.
I believe it's 2-to-1. I believe originally it was 2-to-1, the engineer tried to go 1.5-to-1, just to keep everything snug.
Okay.
Okay, I'm all set. Guys,
Great. All right, appreciate all your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
thank you. So unless we have any further comments from our esteemed select person, I'm gonna make a motion that, entertain a motion.
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, sure.
Crescent Street, have we heard back from the project over there where they were gonna put seed up? Do we know if they seeded the berm or the swale or whatever we're calling it?
Oh, 0 Crescent,
It's,
9?
grass is all coming up, so I called and left a message for Peter to remove the boards, but it looks like it's there
Looks
and
good.
stabilized, and I think as soon as the boards are removed, everything should settle right in,
Good.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
so,
All set.
yeah, hopefully
So-
that'll be done soon.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye.